Hey guys, what is going on, everybody? Happy Camel Day. Here we go again on another Camel Day. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you make it. If you're watching this live, like usual, type the word hashtag Live Squad in the comments. If you're watching this later during a replay, then type the word hashtag replay. Let me know when you're watching this. Welcome to the official start of phase two. We kind of touched base a little bit last week on what we were doing and what we were starting in phase two. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you catch that replay. Let me know if you want me to tag you in it. Type the word, week phase two in the comments. Type the word phase two in the comments, and I'll tag you on that replay so you can check it out. But essentially, we're starting now on the physical part of this journey, not for weight loss purposes, right? As we've discussed along the ways, diet and exercise are just two little pieces of the puzzle that help you lose weight and get that health transformation that you're looking for. The purpose of getting movement in our bodies and strengthening our muscles, which is going to be part of phase two, is to help keep our bodies vibrantly alive. Right? When we spend a lot of time sitting, I feel like most of us have some sort of office job where we sit all the time. We're sitting for 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day. Then we get home and we sit some more. So we start losing muscle when that happens, especially the older we get, the more muscle we lose. And the older we get, the less movement we lose. Part of the problem with that is that working out can have like a negative connotation. I know it does for me. And you've heard me say this multiple times. I hate working out. I hate the gym because it has a negative connotation for me, right? And that comes from a lot of different things, the whole gym vibe, right? I don't like it. The negativity, the judgment, right? People making fun of me because I was overweight and at the gym trying to better my health, and then I get people poking fun at me. That doesn't feel good. So of course I'm going to have a negative connotation with going to the gym or working out in public. So anytime it comes to any kind of workout, we don't really do it. And we all have our own personal reasons for that. I want to talk about kind of the unconscious versus conscious fitness, right? So for me, the hating the gym, hating working out, the whole judgment part, that's the unconscious fitness of, right? The unconscious part that it's just there. It has become this habit. It's been programmed into my mind. So now I think, well, fitness isn't for me. I don't have the body type to get fitness or to get fit. Um, Fitness is only for the looks. It's for the physical aspect of it. It's for, to get the muscle, to get the body you want, to lose weight. Or maybe it's just a responsibility. Like I just have to go to the gym today. I have to get my 20 minutes on the treadmill. I gotta get on that Stepmaster. Or today's leg day. And this is just something that needs to be done. It's another part of your day. All of that is the unconscious part of you. What I want to focus on is getting away from the unconscious and getting to the conscious fitness, right? Where the conscious fitness kind of becomes almost like an art form, right? You're doing this because you want to express yourself, right? This is a form of creativity in expressing yourself. Want you to get interested in it, not for the weight loss factor or because it's something that needs to be done, but I want you to get interested in it because it's going to help your body be vibrantly alive, right? It's going to make your life easier because you're going to focus on your muscle strength. You're going to focus on your joint health. You're going to focus on your heart health. And that's going to make life easier in the sense that in the future, it may prevent you from being bedridden, being in a wheelchair, in a walker. In the present moment, it's going to make life easier because it might help you run around with your kiddos or your grandkiddos, and you're not going to, run out of breath, right? You're not going to feel like your heart's going to explode because it's pumping so fast, right? I want you to get connected with your body through this kind of conscious fitness, right? It's a way to know what your body needs, what your body responds to, what it enjoys, right? So that you can start strengthening your body and bringing that health. Now, there's 5 areas of fitness. Mhm. There's muscular strength, your muscles, right? That it's that ability to lift heavy objects. But then there's also muscular endurance. That's the second area of fitness is the ability to keep up lifting that heavy object for a longer period of time. And there's cardiovascular endurance, right? This helps your heart and lungs to deliver oxygen to all your organs at a faster pace. That way you don't, when you're running around with your kiddos or your dog and you're out there, trying to have fun and play, you won't have to stop because you feel like your heart's about to explode or you feel like you're going to pass out because you can't breathe. Okay, this increases your energy levels and how long your body can stay active. And then there's your mobility, right? Your joint health, making sure that we can keep our joint health and arthritis at bay for as long as possible. All right. And the last thing about fitness, which may sound like this doesn't really sound like fitness, but it is your body composition, right? How much fat versus lean body mass that you have. So the more fat you have, the more body fat you have, the less your body can work on those other 4 areas of fitness, right? You're not going to be able to run for longer periods of time, or you're going to have less muscle, so you're not going to be able to have that muscular endurance. Your mobility might struggle, but the more lean body mass you have, which means your muscle plus bone plus water that you have in your body, the more you'll have endurance, the more you'll have strength, the more your mobility will improve. So today, we want to start with micro habits, right? And what that means is that we want to start slow. We want to develop a little baseline of behaviors and habits. And the reason it's called micro habit is because we want to start really slow, right? Your brain doesn't want to build these new neural pathways to create these new habits of fitness because it's comfortable where it's at. Your brain likes comfort. It loves living in its comfort zone. So we have to start small, right, with micro habits. That way we can kind of trick our brain into thinking this is what we should be doing. This is what we want to do, right? You got to think of your brain as like a toddler, right? How is it going to want to do these things, right? If you tell a toddler, go pick up your toys, it's not going to want to. But if you make it something kind of fun and rewarding, then more than likely they're going to do it. So it's the same thing with your brain. So we have to start small. Now, I don't know where you're at right now in your baseline journey, but I'm just going to assume that you're not really getting much movement, right? I want to start kind of at that 0 level and move our way up. And of course, if you're past that, we can talk about that. But I want to start off in this kind of 0 zone, like you're not getting any real movement. And there's something that I want you to start incorporating this week in micro habits, which starts by downloading an app. Maybe you already have an iPhone or an iWatch or something that tracks your steps. But on top of tracking your step, I wanted to also track your heart points. So if you don't have one that tracks your heart points, you can download like the Google Health app, and that'll track your steps and your heart points. Now, what this means is that your steps is obviously how many steps you're taking in your daily walk, but your heart points are what this is kind of an American Heart Association thing where the longer your heart rate increases for the longer periods of time, the better it is for your heart health, right? That's cardiovascular endurance. Move as I keep tapping it. So that means that your heart's beating faster, you're getting more oxygen at a faster pace. And that's a good thing. That's what we want. We want this cardiovascular endurance because the more you strengthen that muscle, because your heart is a muscle, the more endurance it has, the less risk of heart attack and strokes you can get. So the American Heart Association recommends you get at least 150 heart points per week. And if you're walking every day, that's like 20, 25 heart points a day. So I want you to start keeping track of those. That way you know where you're at, right? You need to know how much endurance or how much exercise your heart's getting. Because I want you to start tracking that. Because if you're not getting, 20 to 25 points a day, then you're not meeting that criteria to have your heart healthy. But then I also want you to start tracking your steps. Because if you're not getting much movement, chances are you're getting maybe 1,000 steps, 1,500 or less steps a day. And we want to start increasing that. I want you to start focusing on getting 20 to 25 heart points a day and about 3,500 steps per day. That's maybe about a 20-minute walk. If it's just a slow pace, enjoy yourself, right? Again, we don't want your brain to think that you're exercising and doing something uncomfortable that it doesn't want to do. So take a book, maybe take your headphones. Uh, Obviously, a book only if you can walk and read without feeling sick or crashing into anything. I like reading a book and walking. Take an audiobook, listen to a podcast, do something that you enjoy so that you're tricking your brain into thinking this is fun, this is enjoyable. Get your 3,500 steps in, get your 20 to 25 heart points in. And then once you're done, find a way to reward yourself. Maybe, to celebrate yourself so that your brain's like, yeah, this is good stuff. This is fun. I want to keep doing this. So maybe it's a high five or like, yeah, I did it. Anything that you enjoy celebrating, right? Your own way of high fiving yourself. Additionally to that, and you don't have to necessarily start it this week, but I want you to maybe start incorporating it because it might be hard. If I know when I first started walking, this was like the middle of COVID, working from home. I was literally sitting on my couch all day because I didn't have to go to the office. I didn't have to do anything. So I sat on my couch all day long. So after 2 years of that, right, I went to the doctor. I was I was a hot mess. So I started walking. And I thought 3,500 steps was going to be super easy. Super easy. I thought I could walk from here to the corner, bam, 3,500 steps, no problem. It was a lot harder than I thought at first. So it took me like a week or two of every day showing up and getting these steps in to reach the 3,500 steps because I didn't realize how many steps 3,500 steps actually was. So if you find it easy to do 3,500 steps and it's fine, then I want you to start adding another little bit of a micro habit, which is to start strengthening your muscles, right? Because we want to start reversing the muscle loss and start strengthening the muscle, right? Start burning more fat. So what we're going to do, if the 3,500 steps comes easy to you, I want you to do a micro exercise. Preferably every hour, right? Because the longer we sit, the more muscle we lose, especially if we're sitting for 8 hours a day. And the longer we sit, our BMR starts decreasing, right? Our resting, like calorie burning, starts decreasing. And we don't want that to decrease. We want our resting calories to be higher up so we can burn more fat, right? This is the energy that our body needs. So if we're getting like a micro workout every hour, using our muscles, increasing our heart rate, then we keep increasing the resting calorie burning, meaning our muscles are using all of that to feed themselves, right? Our metabolism goes higher. We don't, I already said that we burn more fat, we burn more calories, our body gets that energy instead of the reverse happening when we sit there, whereas our metabolism lowers, we get more body fat, we increase the body fat. So if you're up for the challenge, you're going to do your 3,500 steps, right? That includes your 20 to 25 heart points per day, which is maybe like a 15 to 20-minute walk. Then you're going to add squats if you're able to, right? If you don't have any pain or any injuries, we're going to add squats. We're going to add modified push-ups, right? This is essentially going to be an entire body workout in like 2 minutes. Now, just to before I kind of demonstrate how I want you to do this, because I understand that maybe some people are work in an office and you're like, I can't really do this every hour. I want to touch base on not just the physical benefits of it, but of the mental and emotional benefits that come from getting movement. Our bodies were meant to move. Right, we are energetic beings as well as physical beings. So when we're sitting, not only does it kind of mess up our digestive tract, our metabolism, right? Not only do we build more fat, but it also doesn't move our energy. Our energy also stays stagnant. So we need that movement to get that energy flowing, right? It'll help us with stress. It'll help us with anxiety. It'll help us with depression, right? Everything is all connected. The foods that we eat affect our anxiety, can affect our depression, can affect our stress levels. The sitting down causes stress for our bodies because our bodies don't understand. We weren't meant to sit for 8 to 10 hours a day, if not more, right? Because we get home and we sit some more and watch TV. So being able to start off at like 3,500 steps and getting these micro workouts every hour-ish is going to start improving those things. So I'm going to have you walk with me. Let me just unplug this. Let me unplug this. Now, if you will, walk with me. Now, let me just move some stuff out of the way. I probably should have had that prepped ahead of time. But here's a wall. Now, if you're not used to push-ups, right, which I wasn't at first, I had to work my way up. I want you to start off with the modified push-up, right, which is I'm going to have you find a wall. And what you're going to do is kind of lean up against it, right here. And you're just going to do push-ups this way, right? When you're pushing in, make sure that your chin is kind of pointing up against the wall so that your back can be straight, right? We want your back to be straight. We want you to target your muscles here and kind of activate your glutes, and just here on the wall. Okay, if you find that a little too easy, because you're going to do it maybe about 10 to 12. So if you find that you can do, 10 to 12 of those push-ups on the wall, these modified push-ups, and they seem pretty easy, then I want you to start making it more challenging. I want you to lean up against the counter. So like right now, I'm in my kitchen, and I want you to lean up against the counter and then do push-ups here. Same thing, same concept, but instead of your chin, it's going to be your chest going up against the counter. And then you just do push-ups here. Okay? And again, 10 to 12. If that's also too easy for you, or it becomes too easy, then that's when we're going to move onto the floor. And you're going to do normal push-ups. And that's as far as we're going to go for now. Because I don't believe anyone here in this group, I myself, am not at a position where I can make them even harder. Okay, so that's something I want you to do every hour. If 10 to 12 is too much, then stick to 6, half it. Because again, this should only take you about 1 to 2 minutes. Now, as far as your squats go, sit with me here. There's my cat. That's Sandy. It's her bed right here. Oh, actually, that's ladies. It's all their beds, really. Who are we kidding? Now, I'm on a couch right now. You can get a chair. It can be your office chair. It can be a kitchen chair. Whatever you need. And this is kind of your squat position. This is how low you're going to go. Hi, kiddo. So when you're doing your squats, you're going to stand up, right? And you're going to use your couch or chair as that stop position. Don't sit on it. Just kind of put your butt over it. Once you hit there, then you know you got to go back up, right? You go down, you go up. So again, if you can do 10 to 12, perfect. If you need to work your way up to it, that's okay too. Start at 6 and work your way up to 10 to 12. The point of this is to get you to show up, to get you started somewhere. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to go all the way up to 12 if it's not the level you're at right now. But I want you to show up for yourself. I want you to want to feel that vitality in your body. So it doesn't matter right now how many you do. What matters is that you show up and try. And this is where we're going to start. So I also want you to listen to your body. Don't force it. Again, your brain doesn't like being forced. It likes rewards. It likes comfort. So pay attention. Be an outsider, if you will. Look at yourself from the outside in when you're doing these things. And pay attention to the things your brain is saying, right? What thoughts you're having, what signals you're being sent to your body. Like sometimes I've been doing stairs lately, right? Because I want that endurance of being able to go uphill or go up the stairs. And sometimes when I get up to like that third flight of stairs, my brain kind of says like, nope, our body can't do it anymore. Our muscles can't handle it. And that's not necessarily true. Our brain just wants to give up because it doesn't want to put in that effort and wants to stay in its comfort zone. Our muscles can handle more than what our brain tells us. So I want you to pay attention to those thoughts, to those signals, right? When your brain says, okay, stop walking, we're done, we can't breathe, our heart's pounding, these squats hurt, our muscles can't handle it anymore. I want you to just push forward a little more. Say 1 more step, 2 more steps, 1 more squat. And challenge your brain because you can't. Your brain just wants to give up. So pay attention to those sensations. Pay attention to how you're feeling before you do it and how you're feeling afterwards. What are you feeling? What are these sensations going on in your body? Okay, so this is your exercise for the week. If you're up for it, if you're up for trying it, let me know in the comments. Write it down and say, challenge accepted. I'm in, you know. And additionally, I know this is an extra step for you, but once you do it, let's have that accountability for each other. Go in the group and just post, show up session completed, you know, mission accomplished, however you want to word it. But let's have that accountability to help you keep showing up for yourself. Yeah? What do you say? You agree? You in? Um, I hope I didn't give you too much information. I don't want that, brain over overload because I give you too much. And again, it's about trying. It's not about getting it perfect. It's not about doing too much. It's just about showing up, giving it a go, and start slow. Give those micro habits and then reward yourself for doing it. All right. Celebrate yourself for doing it. Trust me, your brain will thank you. Your brain will want to do this, keep doing this again if you celebrate your rewards. You reward yourself after you're done. All right. So I'll see you in the group. We'll talk there. And again, let's hold each other accountable and let me know once every time you do these show up sessions. I'll see you next week. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week and good luck. Have fun because that's what it's all about.